Hello everybody, this is Tech Hut, and it's finally here. We have the latest release of Pop! OS, also known as
pop exclamation mark underscore OS.
This is the 21.10 release, and what we're going to be doing is just taking a quick look at some of the new features, and we're going to be starting with probably the coolest thing and the biggest thing that is in this release, and that is their new application launcher. And there's a couple different ways to open it. First, we could go up here and click on Applications. This will open it up. We could go down here and click on Show Applications. This will show it. Or if you're a little bit more keyboard centric, you could do the Windows key and A, and that will open up this application launcher within this new version of Pop! OS. I do gotta say, this is looking really good. This is one step in getting away from GNOME, which is what they are going to be working on doing eventually. So let's go ahead and check this out. So the applications are organized in alphabetical order, and you can go ahead and search for all the different applications on your system right here. So if I just wanted Firefox, it would go ahead and pull that up. But in addition, you can see right here, available to install. So it will also show you results from the Pop Shop. So one thing, I do not believe GIMP is on here. So I could just search the Pop Shop through this, go ahead and grab GIMP. So if I click on that, it should open it up, and we could go ahead and install that. Super easy. And I will note here that wherever your cursor is, that is where it's going to display, and that's for multi-monitors. So I only have one here, so no matter what, it's just going to appear there in the center. But if I did have a second monitor, I could move the cursor to whatever monitor I wanted the application to open up on, do Windows key A, search for something, so calculator, and then that application is going to go ahead and open up. Now, in addition, if we go ahead, Windows key A, you see down here we have some folders. So this is kind of like a tab system. So library home, this is going to be all of your applications, or at least the applications that aren't currently in a folder. If I go over to Office here, you can see we have the LibreOffice suite installed. If I go over to System, we have some more system-specific tools such as the GNOME Disk Utility, System Monitor. Speaking of System Monitor, let's go ahead and throw this open real quick. Looks like we're using about 1.6 gigabytes of RAM, and the CPU's hardly doing anything. And now if I open that back up with a simple Windows key and A, and you saw that there, if I only hit the Windows key, it's going to bring up the new run prompt. So then I could go ahead and search things through here if I would like to. But that feature is not really too new. That's part of the Cosmic Desktop. The main thing is this app launcher here. So under System, you saw what was in there. If we go under Utilities, these are a lot of the extra little tools and settings on our system. We have this the Pop USB Flasher here, a fantastic tool. We have character maps, archive managers, things like that. If I open up the extensions here, we can actually see what is currently creating this desktop environment that we're in. It's technically GNOME, they call it Cosmic. I'm pretty sure they're rewriting this in Rust, so I'm really excited to see what they actually develop here. But we have the Cosmic Dock, Workspaces, Pop Cosmic, Pop Shell. So they have a lot of their own things going on, and the Pop Shell is this tiling right here, and this is super cool. Go to Tile Windows. If I open up the File Manager, it's automatically going to tile. And of course, there's keyboard shortcuts. You can go configure this and set this up exactly how you would like to. So showing active hint, it will show you what window you're currently working in with an outlined border. This right here, it's not a new feature, but this is definitely one of my favorite features of Pop! OS. And you can see I still have that outline there when I'm not even in tiling, so we go and disable that if you'd like to. So a lot of different things that you could do in the system here. Now, back on that application launcher, you can go ahead and create your own folders. So right here, if I hit create folder, let's just call this web, for example, or let's call this create. And let's say I wanted to put all my create applications here. So I would create the create folder. And then I would just get this GIMP application here, drag and drop that into create. So now it's not going to appear in my library home anymore. If I go over to create, I'm going to have GIMP right there, and then I can put whatever else I wanted in there, whether that be Krita, Blender, various video editors, anything that I would want to fit within that category. So this is awesome. And another new feature that I'm not really going to actually show off here is the new refresh feature, which is really nice if you have a Pop! OS on a USB drive. Let's say something happens to your system, you're messing around in the bin folder for some reason, and now your system won't boot. You go ahead, throw in that USB and use refresh to refresh your installation. And doing this will make it so it doesn't change anything in your home directory. So all your data files and everything like that should be safe. So that is a very warmed welcome feature. Now, I did take a look at the beta version of this, and one of the main big things is this has been upgraded to GNOME 40. So you're going to get a lot of those features, but at the same time, you're not, because they've changed so much in this. It's starting to, like, you could tell it's GNOME. It's got a lot of the elements that you'd expect in GNOME, but for example, we don't have the horizontal workspaces at the moment. The application launcher, or at least the new application launcher, isn't that full screen GNOME shell that we'd expect. But if I go over here and let's jump open into NeoFetch, you will be able to see right here we are running the 5.13 kernel. This is in fact GNOME 40.5, and then of course we are running a bash and all that fun stuff. And another big change with this update is the extra repositories. They're going to be using their own repositories, so they're not going to be dependent on Ubuntu anymore, so they are now hosting their own packages. And with how they're integrating this, this should increase the speed of building and releasing packages, so we should be able to get those updates a little bit quicker without having to depend on other repositories. And with that, there's a lot more updates, and we've covered a lot of the different things in the past, so I don't want to be too repetitive. But for example, if we go in here, we could mess with their Cosmic desktop environment quite a bit. So if I go under desktop, for example, and then here we have these super key actions. So the default is the run prompt, but we could switch that to applications if we would like to, which will make it so you don't have to do the window key A if you prefer this look instead of the run launcher. That is an option for you. We could change around our top bar, mess around with our hot corners. The minimize button is enabled by default. We could show that maximize button if we would like to. Here, basic, light, or dark, your preference. Here are our dock options. So I see a lot of people either completely disabling it, or they disable this option right here so it looks more like a little dock. This is my personal preference, but then again, this does look a little bit weird with Windows maximized. So that's just something to keep note of. And then here under workspaces, we have the option to put them on the left or right side. I do wish they kind of had the GNOME 40 horizontal workspaces. Hopefully they integrate that either soon in the future or when they completely rewrite it. It's going to be really cool to see the development of this operating system. The team at System 76 does a fantastic job with both their hardware and definitely their software. I really do love this Ubuntu-based Linux distribution. And another thing I almost forgot to mention is if we go over to the System 76 website to go ahead and download Pop! OS, we of course have the regular download, we have the NVIDIA download like always, but now we have the actual 21.10 Raspberry Pi image that you could go ahead and flash to your Raspberry Pi today. Now we did take a look at this in a different video, but it was the beta version. There are some issues here and there, so I'm definitely going to be trying this out in the future. So do make sure you are subscribed and you ring that bell so you do not miss that video. With all that, I hope you have a good day. It's been a good day for me. I hope it's been a good one for you. Thank you to our YouTube members and Patreon supporters. You guys are truly awesome. With all that, again, have a great day.